Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today's a very special episode. We're bringing back onto the show Shanne Carvalho. He is a broker associate at eXp Realty and also founder at Solid Oak Construction Company. Shanne, man, welcome back to the show. It's good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too, man. Time just goes by. You know what I mean? We've been trying to connect, and yeah, it's good that we actually scheduled these time. Like I remember when we scheduled to meet today, it's like it just seemed like it was so far out, and it's like
Yeah.
just like that, it's here.
Yeah,
It's,
well, I know you already know the drill. We'll start this episode the way that we start them all, and we got to also talk about the book that we just recently launched together. But before we get into that, we'll start this episode with what we call our Mission Matters Minute. So, Shanne, at Mission Matters, our aim and our goal is to amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's what we do. Shanne, what mission matters to you?
honestly, it's something that's never changing. I guess it just kind of mutates a little bit in the detail, but it's always in service to our clients. I mean, it's always serving people, whether it's on the sales side or on construction or just in general, helping people participating, part of some of these organizations in the community and such. And yeah, I would say that my mission is always of being in service or being of service to my community, my colleagues, my family, and all my friends along the way. Like it's been a pleasure, being part of your organization and knowing you guys. I mean, I'm always here to serve you as well.
Yeah, I definitely feel that. And just to celebrate, I mean, I have the book right here. And just so everybody knows, we recently released our book together, our anthology series. This is our 11th edition of our best-selling business leaders book. And I'm very proud. And we as an organization, we're excited to have Shanne participate. And just to kind of, before we get into the book, Shanne, maybe give a little bit of for the newer audience and newer listeners that we've attracted and been blessed to have. Maybe give a little bit about your background and really how you got started in business and on your journey.
It just goes back to growing up. I mean, my dad, my parents are immigrants from Portugal, and they came to the U.S. The good old American dream. So my dad, started working for a construction company, ended up becoming his own general contractor at his own company. And my mom ended up, she was into cosmetology. She ended up having her own beauty salon, but they're retired now. But my dad, I worked with him when I was in teenager and high school and college, and I spent all my free time in summers working in construction and just learned the trades and took a lot of interest in that. And on my journey, got into mortgage lending out of college and real estate sales. And, it just early on, this all started kind of forming, right out of college. It's like I just took the steps and one thing led to another. And here I am, 26 years later, licensed real estate broker for, I've been licensed in real estate for 26 years. I'm a licensed general contractor, been doing that my whole life. And, there's a lot of details I'm not putting in here because obviously for the sake of time, but essentially, I've brought the businesses to a point where it's full service. Like we can help you fix up your house to sell. We have a warehouse and a stager. We'll stage your house and make it like a model home. So, I mean, we could literally help you flip your own house. If you want to buy a house, you want to make it a second home or an Airbnb, we can come in and, do all the remodel and even furnish it and, fill it up with everything you need, even the dishes, the kitchen stuff, and hand you a key. We can do relocations, corporate relocations. We help the bank get rid of assets. I mean, we do investment stuff for ourselves, help clients complete big, 1031 exchanges and, help do we just did a big, for one of our really good clients and friends, we just did a massive build out on a commercial space for a financial services company, completely just built out the whole space to, to the end. So, but anyway, that's kind of where we've gotten, right? So the journey started, in the trenches, little construction and just kind of little by little lending, and then just progressively really learned the industry and really kind of found my way. And it's interesting because I had a dream early on. I had this dream that someday I would have this whole thing. And it's interesting because that dream became a reality, and that hit me. I think I might have told you previously, a couple of years ago, I was driving down the road here close to home, and it just really hit me that day. I was like, oh my God, I had this vision so many years ago. And it's just
Yeah.
amazing when that, materialized.
Yeah. Um, I want to go further into your career, and really one of the things that I know, and we'll get into the book as well. So a lot of different things you could have written about, and I'll read off the title of your chapter. So an entrepreneur's mindset is never finished. So a lot of angles you could have went. Why this? Why now?
Um, I don't know. Like, I guess it's when you're doing something you love, and you're doing well, or you're progressing. It, like, for me, it's interesting because you keep wanting to go to a higher level. Like, it's
Yeah.
like you want to get into the bigger game, you want to be challenged, and I don't know, you keep like, I have such a passion. Like, I love doing this stuff, and it's like I've gotten to a point now in my career where I want to share my knowledge and try to help
Yeah.
other people to have the same passion. Is that kind of am I kind of going in the right direction with what you're asking me? Because I
Absolutely.
okay, but yeah, no, I just it's I've just I don't know. It's like it's for some people, it's like there's the trade secrets I'm not going to share. It's like I
Yeah.
do my thing, and some people just aren't really people. They just do their thing and move on. For me, like, I don't know. Like I said earlier, like, being someone of service. I
Hmm.
just love helping people, and for me, the vision of how to be successful is such a reality. Like,
Mm.
for some people, it's like it's hard to sell even a house, or it's hard to, like, but for me, it's like so simple that I'm trying to bridge the gap between being brand new or being just challenged or
Mhm.
whatever to, like, having the success, and just trying to help people bridge that gap. It's not this big, because it's like, I don't know. It's like there's this. It's like almost like people imagine that there's this big wall of resistance or something. People feel
Yeah.
like we're like, because I mean, like, in real estate, like 10% of us do like 90% of the business, right? So it's like, in reality, it's like, sure, some of us might have certain talents or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's like just showing people that through sheer work ethic, determination, and commitment, anybody can achieve anything they want.
Mm.
And I fully believe that. And so it's like I'm trying to bridge the gap, like,
Mm.
by trying to help people along, trying to show people that, hey, it's not like this overwhelming thing. It can be done. And this is what I've done. You can do the same thing. And, you can lead them to water. You can't make them drink, but hey, I do my best every day.
And you, in the book, I feel like your chapter was very personal. You talk about, beating cancer, about perseverance, and really clawing your way back. Can you speak on that a bit?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think that, we when we set out in life, especially at an early age, we're so focused on making money and being successful. We don't really think about, like, we always feel like we're invincible, and I don't know,
Mhm.
I don't think a lot of us, or maybe some people do, but speaking for myself, I mean, I always thought about, what do I got to do to build wealth and be successful, and how can I have this big mansion and all this stuff, right? I mean,
Mhm.
obviously my vision of what I want has changed a little bit over the years. It's not so materialistic now, or so much about the mansions and the fancy cars, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that you're so, like, laser focused on having that success that you don't think about, like, the pitfalls or the things that can happen. You also have such a strong vision on how you are and the kind of person you are. You also don't think about how other people can behave or what other people can do. And like, I just, unfortunately, we also don't think about the fact that because we're healthy, we work out, do what we do, we
Yeah.
don't really think about, oh, I could have cancer, I could have this, I could have that. It's not really something you think about. And so when you get hit, at least I didn't think about that stuff. But
Mhm.
when you do get hit with adversity, my first one was, obviously, I know a lot of people have gone through divorce. I mean, that was a real rough patch about 15 years
Yeah.
ago. That was a very tough time with the market too, as the market crashed. It was just a tough time to go through all that. But that was a big deal. But this last thing in the last few years was brutal, because not only was it cancer, it was also, the maximum betrayal by a business partner,
Mm.
friend. And it wasn't the only one. It was like there's a handful of people that just really did me dirty. And, it's like, you're already fighting for your life, trying to, go through. I mean, look, cancer, that was a huge surprise. We don't really have cancer in our family. And that was,
Mm.
I mean, I'm fortunate that I was so busy that it didn't hit me like it should have. Honestly, it
Hmm.
was one more thing to put on the to-do list. I know that sounds
Oh man,
ridiculous,
that sounds
but
crazy. Yeah.
but I mean, for real, I just had this conversation the other day. It was like, if I was like living on top of the world and things were great and like I wasn't hustling, I was like on an island somewhere on vacation or something, and retired or whatever, I think it would have been harder to deal with. I think it would have been devastating because I
Hmm.
think I would have focused too much on the fear and everything else. But it's like I had so much going on already, and I was kind of going through a hard time with this business partner and stuff. I just I didn't really have time to like really sit there and worry. It was like, okay, what do I got to do? What's next? Well, 5 weeks later, I was in surgery. So it's just like
Whoa.
it happened so fast. I still remember the morning that I got to the hospital. I was so nervous. I had never had a
Oh.
major surgery. I was like so nervous. I was like, but then it was crazy because like you go to sleep and then I feel like no time passed. So I woke up in the recovery room. I don't remember very much because I was pretty drugged. But I
Mm.
just remember waking up like no time had gone by. I still remember opening my eyes in the recovery room, and it's like, but I guess what I want to say about that though is that look, the getting through that was not as devastating as getting betrayed by the business partners and all the stuff I
Wow.
went through in recovery. And
Hmm.
so I think that talking about the personal comeback and everything else is that there's a lot of regret at first about like should I have like had more crossed my T's, dotted my I's a little bit on the contract. Should I have been a little more specific? Should I have not?
Yeah.
Should I just have been more careful? Like you always kind of question like where you could have done things better so you wouldn't get screwed. But it's just like when you don't think that, I don't know, like I would never do that to somebody. So I just never really protect, like I don't protect myself against things I wouldn't do, which is not good. I should really be more, protective about all this stuff, which I
Hmm.
am now with whoever it is, family, friends, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all got to be, in contract. But I guess what I'm trying to say is that, I was really in the dumps. I mean, cancer was very depleting. Like I was
Mm.
just like no energy, lost my muscle, like just no this. I could barely walk half a block. I mean, I was put on a bunch of weight after the surgery. It was just a tough recovery for me, and I was just not. I was miserable. I mean, everything was just not going well. I mean, I I had to like just really just start taking it one day at a time, and it was hard to start to come back. It just felt like you couldn't see the finish line. Like
Mm.
everything had kind of just fallen in. And it was like I couldn't even envision, like after going through kind of the recovery to a certain extent from divorce and just the challenges life throws at you, getting hit with all of this later in life. I mean, I just turned 50 in January. Getting hit with all this just was really overwhelming. And it like took the wind out of my sails. Like for the first time ever, like I didn't know if I had the energy to come back. I mean, I
Mm.
wasn't suicidal or anything, but it was like more just like, how am I ever going to get back on my feet? How am I ever
Right.
going
You
to
can
come
see the
back?
end. Yeah.
I couldn't see the finish line, and it just felt overwhelming. It's like, I mean, I just lost 60 pounds in the last like year and a half, and it's like
Look good, man. Yeah, you look good.
thanks, man. But it's like like it's the example is this, like at the beginning of like the weight loss, it just seems like, oh my God, there's so much work to do. Like it just seems so overwhelming. So it's interesting because reading books had really helped me, like instead of trying to have that instant gratification or get it all in one shot, reading books like Pound the Stone, Chop Wood, Carry Water, The Compound Effect, all those kind of books talk about doing a little bit at a time, just kind of a
Yeah.
little bit of progress and
Love
just
the compound effect,
yeah,
Darren Hardy. That's a big one. I love
yeah.
that one.
So like, look, I mean, me and my operations manager, I mean, we're really good friends. We worked together for years. We worked together at a previous company as well, and we're good friends. I mean, she's obviously an employee, but we're also someone who cares about me and stuff. And it's interesting because you know, she was really instrumental in helping me in the comeback because we got to the point where it's like, okay, look, today, like go for a walk around the block, like get outside, go for a walk around the block, and then let's write 5 things down on a notebook. Accomplish these 5 things today, and you're successful. That's literally how bad it was, or how basic.
Mm.
That's how basic it was trying to come back from all this. And the thing is, this is in the last like 2.5 years. This isn't like years ago. Like this whole transformation to come back has been
Mm.
fast. But it I mean, it started putting one foot in front of the other. I mean, now, I mean, shoot, I'm pretty much at my fight weight. Like I'm in great shape. I go run 4 or 5 miles in the morning on the beach. I work out every day. Like I
What a
play
blessing.
tennis. Like I played tennis match for 2.5 hours. I'm not even tired. I mean, just like I'm in phenomenal shape. I am so energetic. I'm energetic throughout the day, even at night. Like I'm so fired up. It's hard to go to sleep at night. And then I can't wait to get up in the morning and get after it. You know, it's like I found this new level. These challenges took me to a new level that I didn't know I had. Like early in January, I was running on the beach. I love running on the beach before sunrise. I love catching the sunrise in the morning. And it's almost like the whole David Goggins thing. Like I want it to be cold, miserable, just nasty. Like I want to feel the pain. Like I come back some mornings during the winter, can't even feel my hands are numb because it's so cold. It's like in the low 30s, and it's like running in the low 30s we're out there for an hour or whatever. It's like just it's kind of miserable some mornings, but it just really fires you up. But there was one morning early in January where I just had this weird breakthrough, and I realized that everything was going to be okay, that I was going to make it, and I was going to be successful again, that things were going to be even better. The other thing that happened mentally that I didn't even know was possible is I leveled up. Like nothing derails me. Like I feel like I could be derailed before, like, oh, it's a shitty client or it's this or it's that or a bad situation or you're upset with somebody. It's like things could really impact you. And being an emotional person, when you're good in sales, you're a very emotional person. And so it's easy to
in this case, you're like, well, it's not cancer. It's not surgery. It's not like being betrayed by a business partner. It's not like all these horrible things. It's not a divorce. It's not like all these things that you listed that were, very impactful, right?
Well, you've also conquered everything. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it's like, look, I still feel feelings, and I still we had one of our team members passed away recently. That was devastating. So it's like, you still feel your feelings, but it's just, you deal with things differently. Like you grieve, but it's not going to change your course. Because every time something happens, you're going to emotionally follow it. You're never going to be in a positive light, because seriously, things happen every day. I don't follow the news and all this stuff. People are so wrapped up in the news and so emotional with everything going on in the world. I don't get caught up in all that stuff. Like you could literally be miserable every day about something, or you could be stressed about something every day. I finally found my own secret sauce to just being on this just stoic line where you feel feelings, everything else, you still care, you're still the same person, but you're just not derailed. And then the other thing I found was just this relentless drive, this relentless energy. I've always been driven, but this is a fire I've never had before. Like this is on another level. Like I get excited even saying that. Like it's like I'm fired up. Like every day I'm fired up. And
your business is shown too, right? You're growing, man. I'm on your newsletter or something. I don't know where I was in, but you're closing deals. It might have been Instagram. That's where I seen some things. But give us some updates on the business, man, because you're also doing it big.
Well, look, it's we're not at the finish line, but we're
never. And that's the name. And that's the name. Hold on. That's the name of your chapter, man. We already know that. I read the name of the chapter. The entrepreneur's minds never finish. We know that.
Well, so it's like, but it's like I'm really thankful. I recently went through another surgery, which was not a big deal. It's fine. I'm recovering well. It's been about 6 weeks, but it's interesting because I was down in LA. So I was down there for about 3 weeks solid. I'm usually back and forth. They usually don't stay down there as long. And, it was the first time in a long time that the team was on their own. And I'm just really thankful to have such a great team. Like literally they ran the businesses flawlessly. They hardly even needed me.
Wow.
My job is to, bring in the business and do negotiations and do the high level stuff. But like they were like putting properties on the market, taking properties that closed and closing them out, and getting properties, staged and inspections and getting, I was just, we're on track. Like we have a really good system in place, and we're climbing up to, back to kind of the good old days. But I think we're going to climb even better than that is the goal, and starting to grow again a little bit. I would like to grow a little more. And and then the construction, we've really, taken the construction into kind of its own, it's kind of become its own thing. It actually has a kind of a life of its own with, some additional work and things that we're doing that originally were not part of the game plan. And so So yeah, I mean, I've structured a couple of businesses that are doing well, and I'm going in the right direction. I did, I'm the kind of person that always wants to take care of business, and my partner did burn some of these investors and stuff, and I just, I'm the kind of person that I know investors take risk and stuff, but I don't want people to get burned on my watch, and
Yeah.
so I've taken it upon myself to make sure that they get paid off.
Mhm.
And so I mean, look, I mean, I have to hustle and grow and do what I do to, not only build my success in my retirement and help all these people feed their families that work for me, but
Yeah.
I'm also, in a bit more pressing to grow because I really want to get these people taken care of and, move on to the next chapter in growth and investment.
Man, that's great. Shane, man, it's so much fun catching up with you. And I'm just so thrilled and excited to have you be part of this book. For everybody that's watching, we're going to have a link in the show notes to this most recently released book that, again, Business Leaders Volume 11, where you'll get to read more about Shane, his background. I know we touched on the chapter today and on his writings, but there's a whole lot more. Shane, that being said, if somebody is listening or watching this and they want to follow up, they want to learn more about your work or connect with you on social media or otherwise, how do they do that?
Well, I mean, honestly, like a lot of people talk to me through like Instagram, which
Yeah.
it's the Shane Carvalho _RE_team. And I mean, and it's a team being that we're full service. Like, so when I refer to team, it's not like a team of agents. I mean, we do have agents that work with us, but it's
Yeah.
essentially just this whole team I have of the support and the decor and the repairs. And so anyway, that's kind of like our main thing. And,
Yeah.
we're working on actually building out a site now for the construction separately.
Mm.
That's in the works, but that's the best way to reach for whatever investment, real estate, construction. I'm constantly monitoring that inbox, and then, my mobile number is always. I'm always fine with sharing my mobile number as well. Like I don't have any issue with texting, calling, whatever. Love to help or love to network. I love to
Yeah.
help people grow their businesses. Like we'll, like you refer me, I refer you. Like I love the whole collaboration.
And what's the number?
831-588-2374.
Fantastic. And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll definitely put the link to Shane's Instagram in the show notes. So you can just click on it and head right on over. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way on your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Shane, man, it's so excited to have you in this most recently released book. Now we gotta promote, do what we do, sell some books, and have some more fun. So congrats on everything you're doing and all your success. And thanks again for coming back on
Thanks.
the show.
Yeah, no, well, thanks for, I mean, obviously, it's been great meeting you guys, and thanks for, helping me, build this part of the business. I mean, this is something I've always wanted to do, and I'd like to launch into like a full-on book. I mean, that's kind of
Oh
the
man,
goal.
he's hooked. Everybody heard it now. First announcement here. Shane's doing a full book, man. I love it, man. Thank
Good.
you.
Well, I mean, it's been something I've been wanting to do for years. It just hasn't quite been the right time, but this is a good first step in going that direction. So I thank you guys for actually giving me that opportunity.
Awesome. Well, game on.